Oh, funky.
Yeah, some lovely funk to that. Welcome
Wow,
to
what
the
an intro.
Hat Chat
Welcome
show.
to Hat
Sorry,
Chat,
I really
everybody.
thought that Chris Trott was going to do the intro as he expressed his joy for the Fingal, which was provided by Sam Wyatt. Thank you very much for the Fingal, by the way. If you don't know what a Fingal is, it's a fan jingle that we play at the beginning, and you can submit those at hatchat@hat-films.com. So thank you very much for that. Anyway, how
Really
you guys
great.
doing?
So I saw you
My name's
purse your
Ross,
lips
by the
into
way, Ross
a
Hornby.
W, and I thought that was going to be like, oh, welcome to the Hat Chat. So I was like, oh, he's going
Who
to do
knows
it.
anymore? Who knows?
I'm
We're
Chris
still
Trott.
in lockdown.
Yeah. And you notice that
Hello,
all
I'm
these...
Alex Smith. I'm
It's
here.
all fucking falling apart. Yeah. Just like our lives.
And that's it.
But we're
Exactly.
fine. And it's just an hour that we spend every other week talking shit, really. We don't really plan these very much. Ross puts together some awesome, funny articles and some loose stuff.
A few, yeah, handful.
And we just kind of, this is our chance to really vent, and really just make sure everyone's all right, and what is the world okay? Fuck knows. Probably not.
Well, do you know what's actually
What
quite
the fuck
exciting
are you
in
talking
terms
about?
of the podcast?
Somebody stop him. Uh-huh.
The exciting thing is we have we're now apparently on the Rooster Teeth page now, is in their website, so we can
What's
you
Rooster
can
Teeth?
find our podcasts there. What's Rooster
They're the
Teeth?
teeth
Rooster
of the
Teeth
male
is a
chicken.
yeah
With teeth.
in more specific terms, it's an animal, Trot, and it has teeth. Or does it actually have teeth?
No,
Do
that's
roosters
why
have teeth? Or is that a metaphor?
No.
On...
they kind of. I think they have like a hard element of their beak which is slightly serrated, but I don't think like not serrated like a fucking steak knife. Like like there has some bumps in it. There's a little bit, but no.
Yeah.
I think that's why there's the saying "rare as hen's teeth," which is because they don't have teeth. But then again, I would refute this because obviously, I'm a world famous reptile owner. They call me Exotic Smith.
World famous.
And
that.
yeah, world famous. I've got 3 whole
You can tell
reptiles.
his
And
background. If you're watching the video, he's got loads of...
and the Febreze air because bit of dragon shit smells like a pig's been living in your house. So anyway, they have the reptiles, obviously birds, reptiles, very, very similar. They have the little bumpiness. They have like a hard jaw. And that's what I think must be in a cock's mouth.
Wow.
Okay, well, I mean, that's good. I mean, anyway,
Rooster
Rooster
Teeth
Teeth are an online platform of online entertainment of all sorts, really, but mostly gaming, especially where we're concerned. But they've also had an agreement with the Yogscast, who we're partnered with as well, to host several aspects of what we produce. So they are producing and hosting our podcast. We're producing it. Confused that up as well. So, Jesus Christ.
What?
I've always been...
What are they doing?
It's one of those days. Just one of those
Yeah,
fucking
it's one of
days.
those.
Everything needs to be
It really-
backwards.
It does feel like one of those days. I forgot what time it was, so I set this up very late. And then we had loads of audio issues anyway, so there you go. But yeah, Rooster
Do you
Teeth,
know what day
it is? I've always admired that company.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
Friday. I've always admired that company because I remember back in the day pre-YouTube, which is a foggy memory, I will say, they had like a website already and they were already trying to make a business out of Red versus Blue on their website. I was like, this is cool. They got like their own thing going and they're making like merchandise off of this Halo series where they just like voice act over the top and they've made a thing out of something. Yeah, it's impressive. And I've always looked up to them as like from a business standpoint, I'd say. And then we've actually interacted with them in the past. We did a Siege thing with them a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
One where it was online, and the other one where we actually went to their RTX London pre-show thing and played Siege against Alfredo, Jeff, and Jeremy and those guys. And Humes was there fanboying his ass off. It was a great time. They had a really professional setup, and the setup was actually run by Sam Gibbs and members of Fourth Floor. So Yogscast had a hand in the professionalism of that. So I think the partnership was starting at that point, like a year ago. And now it's just like put your videos on our site and see what happens with it. I think that's basically the partnership right now. There's nothing extra, but and a bit of interaction. We did like a stream with the Achievement Hunter guys the other day, playing some TTT at about 5 frames a second. It's good stuff.
Yeah, that was. I think they were hosting a server on their own personal computer. So we then, so we had some terrible tech issues.
I didn't realize that engine, the latency also makes your frames less. You'd think that it would just be like data rather than your actual visual frame rate. It's insane.
Yeah, it's a bit messy.
So yeah,
but I mean, either way, so it's hosted there. So if anyone from the Rooster Teeth community does happen to, for some reason, skip to episode 32, we're Hat Films, so welcome aboard. We hope you've enjoyed it up to this point. Unless you've just jumped to this one, in which case you've already seen the shambles. We started as a shambles, as we mean to go on. Really, let's be honest.
It doesn't get much better than this. I'll be honest.
No.
The quick summary. Smith, if you were to like summarize what we are, Hat Films. Why is it called Hat? Where's the hats? We've got one hat. What is it? What are we doing? Who are we? Are we the fun house in the UK? Tell us.
We're three men who've lived in Bristol for 10 years now. And honestly, we peaked probably about 2014. Imagine, and then from there it's been what we like to call a gradual decline. So if you look at places like Japan and even the UK, we have a graying population, and that in a lot of ways is Hat Films in a
graying
nutshell.
Population. Yeah, nice. Didn't really mention anything that we did, but that we just peaked at 2014.
I think it's one of the type of things where I think they have to jump into the content and just try it out and see. I mean, if it's for them, then it's for them. It's hard. It's a hard sell, We're three kind of different people. We just talk shit half the time. We talk about dicks a lot. We make inappropriate jokes, and we play a lot of GTA. So
lad jokes that you'd expect to never leave the bedroom in which we play games, but unfortunately, it's online.
Mm-hmm.
So
and you think we'd grow out of it or grow up in any way, but we didn't.
I think we Peter Pan it. We create a Peter Pan kind of island for ourselves where we never grow up, and we eat fake food. We eat dream food.
How do you find that should affect our mental states in years to come?
Clearly,
as we've grown up to be man children and encouraged to be man children into our late 30s.
It's weird.
Yeah,
that is really a strange thing. Definitely.
Isn't that the dream?
I think that is some. In a way, like don't get me wrong, I love being a man child. Like I still love technology and gadgets and all that shit. Like I loved my whole life, and I love that. I love that I have the income and the time to be able to go out and ride my mountain bike or go airsofting or all that sort of stuff. Like that's awesome. But you're absolutely like. I feel like I look at everybody around me who do slightly more traditional things, and they are different now than they were sort of 5-10 years ago. And I'm wondering whether I'm really that different from 5-10 years ago. I find myself more mourning, the loss of everybody's free time because they're having a family and stuff. It's like, shit, like don't get to see anyone anymore. But maybe that's just the life of a childless, unmarried person for the rest of their life, going around to their friends' houses and going, guys, it's great. Let's have a massive party. Oh, you've got a kid. Oh, okay, maybe not. Come
on, mate, play Dota with me. You can't. You have responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly.
What, you can't stay up till 2 a.m. playing Dotes every night. What?
Exactly.
You've got a job.
Yeah. And I'm like, I try and reconcile that. Like, don't get me wrong. A few of my friends definitely still have time to play games and stuff. Like, interestingly, all the ones that went into education seem to be the ones that are still playing computer games. But like, it definitely feels weird. Like, sort of.
I think you're looking at it from
growing up.
You can only really look at it from your own perspective anyway, which is like, I want to do this thing, and I can no longer do it with this person because they've chosen this other thing instead of it. And that makes me annoyed at them for choosing and having different reasons to be elsewhere. They get more fulfillment from something else.
I've noticed more recently. I've been playing Warzone with some old friends who, to be honest, I used to play Call of Duty with back at uni. But obviously, it's much harder to arrange like your time together. So you're kind of off sync a lot of the time. Where it's like, oh, I've got to spend time with my girlfriend. My mate's got a kid, so he's got to look after his kid, and he can't do X, Z, and Y. So I find those moments, I cherish them a bit more now because it's like, oh shit, we're all online at the same time. We can all play this game. This is what we used to do. This is fucking great. But obviously, I have the luxury of playing games as part of a living, which is quite a rare thing, really, when you think about it. And so yeah, so I don't know. I just treasure it a lot more, and I appreciate that they have other things that they need to do. But yeah, I do miss that kind of open freedom of just fuck you guys on. Yeah, let's do this, and we can just play whatever.
Yeah.
We'll do whatever.
Like for me, like
I do miss those days.
I absolutely love it. Like you say, yeah, I do cherish the fact that we have this freedom. But yeah, I enjoy things more when I share them with people. Like I prefer
definitely
doing stuff with friends, and so like it's kind of that lonely sort of like, what do they call it, essentially like you have the time and the ability to do these things, but now you've got nobody to do them with, which not nobody, but you get what I mean. Like it is like in terms of like,
sorry, I was going to say in terms of like capitalism, or like earning to a point where you can actually afford to do all these great things, but then all the people you wanted to do with them when you were younger, and you see all these fucking films where it's so unrealistic, all these kind of, people in their like early 20s doing these outrageously expensive and crazy holidays and whatever, and you're like, oh fuck, I want to do that. But then when you get to the point where you can actually afford it, or you can kind of reasonably set time aside to do those things, it's kind of unrealistic. So you kind of have to ground yourself in reality a bit more, I think, as you get older.
We were lied to by American Pie.
Manage your expectations.
Yes. We were lied to by American Pie. We were lied to in the 90s by all of these teen films. They made everyone's life seem incredible. Quite frankly,
I remember Skins. Jesus.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, that was so out, like some of the stuff. It's just like, where are they? Where were they doing these things? I mean, I'm sure there's some crazy ass parties somewhere, but fuck, I don't know anyone who did them. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I was on the outside looking.
I think
out my window, seeing when you were having these great times.
I think you guys are
definitely Skins. They were like 16. Go on, Trott.
You guys are definitely more those guys in those movies, though, where if the opportunity is there, you guys will have a house party or turn up to one or do a daring thing if there's a load of mates that are gonna go do it. Whereas I feel like I'm definitely the other one, which is, I really appreciate the little things in life and the little routines and the safety and the comforting blanket and that sort of thing. Although, don't get me wrong, I will be part of that. I'll be that guy at that house party that's in American Pie that's like, no, I'm not sure we should really do that, guys. Let's just think about the laws and the safety here. Yeah, I will go out of my comfort zone. But also, the older I get, the more I love my creature comforts. And I love the fact that lockdown has enabled me to really indulge in those creature comforts at home and have a routine and enjoy those sorts of things without like, and our job, so to speak, is like a 2 to 5 streaming every day, which is really not hard.
That's what we've been doing recently, yeah.
It's easy to enjoy those other things. But I don't feel like I need a big house party, or I miss the old days of having all that free time of fucking around in a field or whatever. I feel like I've done that, I've achieved that, and I no longer need that in my life. I'm not hoping to go back to be a child one day or have everyone around to do crazy things anymore. I don't need that.
No, I don't crave house parties and stuff now in that sense, if that's what you think. I mean, I also, I have enjoyed, just chilling out. Sometimes it is just nice to just do nothing, as weird as that sounds, But I feel like you have to have those kind of moments of craziness to really appreciate the doing nothing thing. Do you know what I mean? So, like when we, almost when we go out and we go to these, where we go away for a set period of time, like when we went to Oregon and stuff like that. Like that was great and that was so much fun, but like also it was quite exhausting in terms of just we were out, camping and stuff. There was a lot less involved. Very early mornings,
It's so important to do those things. Like, even though like my instinctive reaction is like, oh, it's outside of my comfort zone, and all these worries and fears, and like I'm going away, like I have to think about like my dog and blah blah blah. I'm putting excuses in front of the thing, basically, which is putting me off doing it. But as soon as I've done it, I'm like, that was so invigorating, and it really like changed my perception for a bit and reset me and made me appreciate going back home and enjoying the things that I was doing on a daily basis.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
So those home comforts suddenly become a bit more enjoyable, because you're like, oh, now I can rest, I can chill out, do this thing. But then I can do this like high energy, excitable thing, which is kind of overstimulating at some points. And then
like that feeling of like,
yeah.
In particular, that trip where we were camping and then kind of like glamping for sure, but like out in the sticks and like doing that big ass journey out into the middle of nowhere and doing these things that you really wouldn't do, whitewater rafting. Kind of like feel at the end of that was a really good feeling of exhaustion, which is different from waking up and feeling dead tired and having a coffee. It's a very different kind of tired, whereas like I've done something fulfilling. For sure, that I would never have done otherwise had the opportunity not presented itself to me. And I think if I was, that's why I'm thankful for Hat Films for sure, because of your two personalities, in particular Smith's and his like, I just want to travel and do cool things. I wouldn't ever do these things. I would never make that decision to plan that sort of shit. So I am thankful that I'm dragged out of that desire to just stay and do nothing and play video games.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Learn Blender and
definitely
shit.
Do something big after this as well. Like there's more of a craving to just go and do something cool, you know.
Yeah.
Which hopefully will inspire more like interesting content as well. But like just on a personal level, just go out there and see some more cool shit.
Yeah.
Because you know, I mean, America was great. There's so many cool stuff we've done in America, but maybe somewhere else would be nice for a change. But, yeah, itchy feet now.
Africa?
Now we're all stuck indoors.
You want to change? Want a real change?
I mean, you have been to Kenya, you know. He knows Kenya like the back of his fucking hand. So
there's only one left in Hat Films that needs to go there.
Yeah, exactly. We take Ross back to Africa. Turns out Ross is an African man. We never knew.
Back to the cradle.
He's got a whole family out there. He's a prince. He's a tribal prince. Oh man. Yeah, Africa. I think at some point, not maybe immediately. I mean, obviously, we don't know when we're going to be able to travel at all, but at some point, we should definitely go to Africa, because, like, it's just, I mean, it's just fucking crazy. Like, on the way back to the airport before I flew home, there were, I think I mentioned this, there were all these people with their shops just on the street. So it's a 3-lane motorway either side, and on the side, there's just all of these little shops people have set up, and they're all selling different kinds of chairs. And like we're going along this motorway for a good like 10 minutes. Like we go past thousands of chairs, and there are all kinds of chairs. There's like office chairs, there's like gaming chairs, there's like sort of like dining room chairs, and it's just like, why are there so many chairs here? Like, who's buying like all these chairs off the side of a motorway
with the chair market? Right.
Yeah,
and it's just like, it's just things like that. You're just like, what's going on? You know, like bizarre.
Just a different aspect of things.
But I think Japan would probably be the best sort of culture change video for us in terms of easiest to accommodate to, because Africa does take some considerations, whilst Japan is a lot easier to actually exist there without being murdered.
I think it'd be very interesting, very stimulating as well. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of color, a lot of kind of interesting things to film as well, which would be good.
It's wild. I'd say I'm definitely with Smith. Like back when I did it before I went to uni, classic gap year thing. It did like cleared up my acne, so that's a win.
Nice.
I was on some hardcore medication before that fucked me up, but then just some fucking good sunshine every day for like 6 weeks. I think I was out there, and that really cleared it up. So boom, that or mosquito bites. I don't know which one. But one or two. And yeah, just your whole perception after doing it for that long, it's like, oh yeah, like I really enjoy the rolling hills of the UK and roads that don't have huge cracks in them everywhere.
Yeah. Just roads that are flat is flat you roads. Really appreciate after going to Africa, because like most like in the middle of Nairobi, there are still roads made of just earth.
Yeah,
like in the middle of a city.
Really?
Like it's just like, it's so weird, because some parts are like super modern. You'd think it was like anywhere in the West, and then other parts are just like, oh, we're doing the roundabout that's made of trash around a mud circle. Here we go. Like,
it's crazy how close those things are. Like literally side by side. Like I've got all the money for me here, and I want my road around me to be really nice, but I don't really care about the neighbour next to me that's in the slum area at all. So
Yeah.
where's the government just funding the rest of it? They don't have much, I guess, to go around. But it's
Were there many potholes? I mean, just to clarify, just to compare,
corrupt, that's the problem.
Cool. Corruption.
Yeah.
The pothole situation, is it even worse there? Because obviously, I feel like it's dreadful around here.
Yeah.
It's not potholes.
Dude, no.
It's like just
you
rifts.
cannot compare.
Just entire trenches in the middle of a road. No. Trench!
That's if you're lucky that the people on the roads are using the roads and not just driving on the sidewalk and things like that. Honestly, in like peak, it's probably better now, but peak traffic in Nairobi was fucking insane back in the day, like 10, 15 years ago. I don't remember when, about that, 2008. It was just wall-to-wall cars, people just driving on the streets around pedestrians and just doing what the fuck they want. There's no traffic lights. They're just doing whatever. It's crazy.
I drove on a pavement once.
The UK roads are definitely bad. There's somebody saying in our chat
that was
UK roads are actually better than roads somewhere else. Sounds like they're a UK resident. Like,
it's
I
all
think
about
UK roads
perspective.
are probably better than American roads as well. Like a lot of roads in the States, because they have to cover such large areas.
Yeah,
and the heat
fucks up
the
the roads. Like, it's just cracked all over the place.
Yeah, we got that mild temperate temperature that the tarmac isn't too bad, where it cracks. And also, Americans, they use these huge square slabs, which are just like put down one after the other on like the highways. And you get that little, like, when you go over that.
Oh, they're all concrete filled.
So
you hear the.
It's not smooth.
Just like being on a train.
Yeah,
we're pretty lucky.
Underfunding.
Our roads aren't half bad.
Yeah, it's classic like village roads that I think are the bad ones, where it's like the cities are okay, but like the little tiny suburbs or the areas that aren't so tread, where the council doesn't really want to stretch the budget to fix that road. Yeah, they are bad. Yeah, but you're gonna get that everywhere. So it's not too bad.
Not calling America out. It's just surprising.
It's just huge. You can't possibly cover it with the infrastructure.
Yeah, it's a big place.
Anyway,
but Africa's giving them a run for their money, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, they're getting there.
Good road chat, guys. We should rename this road
chat. That's rare. If you are watching from Rooster Teeth, that is in fact something we always talk about. Sometimes we cover lampposts, post boxes. Today was roads, so we covered that one. Took one off.
Yeah, we covered
something interested me yesterday, which I put on here as a talking point, was so have you seen Chris Nolan's releasing a new film called Tenet?
Tenet. Or Tenet. Yeah.
I know.
Now, did you see how they released the fucking trailer yesterday?
Fortnite, right?
In Fortnite on a fucking screen, where you can see the back of your goddamn character. Like, I cannot believe that's how they're marketing. Well, I can believe that's how they're marketing it. I mean, I've seen, they're doing rappers and stuff, which is impressive, but like a film trailer from a director who has specifically stated how much he loves film, how much you should watch these fucking things in a cinema, and then the first port of call, which I'm guessing may not have been his first port of call. It was definitely a marketing ploy, but let's play it in Fortnite. I mean, what do you think about that as a concept?
I don't think it's the right demographic for one.
Trailer. No.
I don't think
really.
that. I don't
it
really
does
know
seem
much.
like an odd demographic.
Yeah, I appreciate them trying to do.
I feel like
things
25-year-olds and up, but who knows?
Yeah. But then again, most of the YouTubers and streamers that we see are 25 and up playing Fortnite. So
yeah, true.
Yeah, true.
It's just the audience they're playing to is often lower.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to a Chris Nolan film, but I didn't catch the trailer in Fortnite, so.
No.
I started watching half of it on Reddit earlier, and then decided I didn't want to watch it because I kind of want to see it fresh because it does look cool. Right. Yeah, it's a good idea.
A Nolan film.
Yeah,
you don't need a trailer, right?
I mean,
no, I don't think. I think it's probably best to go
big Inception energy.
Yeah,
I
right.
think,
okay.
In terms of the style, well, obviously the styling is very similar, but even there's a little bit at the end where the character reminded me of a character Tom Hardy played.
Right.
And what's even greater is that Robert Pattinson is getting more work. So there you go. He's in that one.
He's doing the rounds.
Did you see Robert Pattinson in The King?
I did,
Netflix.
Where he was the French accent.
The French guy.
That he was doing.
I like
that. Was quite funny. I mean,
it was
that was a funny part in it. Yeah.
Apparently, he's an underrated actor.
You know,
Hence
he's
why
British,
he's
isn't
been
he?
lapped up now.
He's British, Ross. He's a British actor.
Yeah,
You've got to be happy for it. Michael Caine can't be in anything.
British,
He is in
of
this
course.
film. But Michael Caine can't be
He
in
is,
everything.
of course he is. No,
He's in this film, being Michael. I mean,
that's true.
I'm going to say it. I'm a little bit Michael Cained out. I'm a little bit Michael Cained out now.
Oh, come on. He's come to
He's
the
a
end.
treasure.
You've got to
and I
eke out the
respect him,
last
and-
remnants before he snuffs it.
This is the thing. Like, absolutely. Many old people have said that they want to keep working until they die because that's what keeps them healthy and young and active, right? So I'm all for that. But like, holy shit, he's not exactly got the biggest range, has he? Michael Caine.
He plays.
I mean, he is himself.
wise old man, Cockney man.
He plays what? He plays
works.
Michael Caine.
I've done this before.
Michael Caine.
I'm sorry.
Wise.
It sounds like
Nuggets.
He's a lovely guy.
I'm in the unpopular opinion here. Ross and Trott would both very much like more Michael Caine.
I don't
Thank
mind
you.
it.
I don't need
I don't
more
mind
of him
Michael.
specifically. I just don't have a problem with him. Yeah.
I don't feel like
No, I don't have a problem with him.
I'm bombarded by Michael Caine on a daily basis to say like this is too much Michael Caine now. I don't think there's enough
Michael
Chris
Caine.
Nolan films. Basically,
No.
I'm happy with
Well,
the
Yeah,
sporadic
yeah.
amount.
Well, let's see how it comes out. I hope it's good. It looks
Yeah.
good. Fortnite is stupid. You know my feelings on Fortnite. It's dumb.
Yeah.
It's
But like,
it's
obviously, this is
disagree.
obviously a trend that
undeserving
may.
popular game.
I don't agree
Yeah,
with
but
that.
the thing is, you can't really slate Fortnite because one, it's free, which is a fantastic thing to have. It's a free game that provides entertainment for many people. That whether we enjoy it or not is entirely that's up to you. Sure. I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
enjoy
I'm shit at it.
either, but I think I still show respect to that element of it. However, I don't know about the using it as a media platform for a third-person viewing of a screen in the sky of a brand new media. Like,
See, I think
I
it's
just don't
great.
get that.
I like that.
Do you really think so?
I think that's.
Could
I
they
mean,
not at least add a
when you-
fucking first-person mode when that happens, so that you don't have to see the back of your
But
like
that's the point,
cartoony
right?
character hopping around,
po-
like looking up at the sky in this kind of
Sure,
dystopian
like- If you don't like doing that, you'll watch the trailer on Reddit, like Smith did. But the fact that it's like a
Yeah.
communal thing, because a lot of the generations that are growing up now, that is the way. Aside from going to school or whatever, people are doing meetups, especially in lockdown. So I think it's kind of interesting that you are embodying a character and you see your mates with all their fucking cosmetics and shit that you play games with all the time, and that you're like, oh, let's stand side by side and do emotes and stuff while we watch this trailer, and like, oh, I'm seeing how everyone else around me is reacting. That's kind of interesting. I think it does generate that kind of arena. Well, it's not the same as being in the same place. I still think it's kind of cool. Like I watched the.
What if it was Minecraft, and what was if the film was Schindler's List?
I mean, yeah.
You see in the trailer a Schindler's List, but the first time you get to see it, and the only place you can see it, world exclusive, is in a game of Minecraft, and 100 people are there, but you're in third person, so you have to see the back of their blocky heads. Like,
If that,
do you think
happened,
there's a tone
I'd say
element there that might be a bit imbalanced?
I'd say that was tone deaf. Whereas I don't know about. I haven't seen the Tenet trailer, so I can't say whether it was out of place. Yeah, I'd say Schindler's List was.
I don't know if it's on the same level as Schindler's List, but it's certainly a more adult film than a kind of what the demographic probably is for the average Fortnite player.
However, the marketing's working.
Great shower
because
team, though.
Yeah, it works. We're talking about it.
That's the thing. Like, it's that controversial. Why are they putting it in Fortnite that get people talking about it? There's going to be articles all about it. It's like, I can't believe Chris Nolan's film's in Fortnite. What a crazy combination. That's worth an article, and now people know about it.
Exactly.
It's like, I just want to watch the trailer now. I'll go watch the trailer. Did a lot of people probably heard it from like those articles, and then it's like, I don't want to see it in Fortnite, but I'll watch it properly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think the main thing that surprised me, I wasn't that surprised that that was being shown there, but it was more of the fact that when a director comes out and makes quite broad statements about film being has to be seen in the cinema, has to be this, you have to see it in IMAX and whatever, all these things, and then that's the way that their film is being like first introduced to some people. I find that quite odd and kind of like a bit backwards to previous statements. I just do.
I guess
I wonder if he even knew what Fortnite was when he said sure.
He may not have done. However, maybe he's trying to recreate the vibe of watching it on a big screen in a game, because people are in lockdown, so they can't go to the cinema to watch a trailer like that. Yeah, and maybe it's to do with the plot. I don't know.
I did see on his Wikipedia.
I mean, if Christopher
Nolan's
Nolan
Wikipedia.
somehow managed to make Fortnite an interesting element of his plot, I would be impressed. I'm not gonna lie. If
Yeah.
I'd gone like, wow,
I
all right, there was actually reasoning behind that. This guy's a genius.
read
I know
this
nothing. The world is a
Wikipedia recently
lie.
that
I don't
he-
understand anything.
he apparently doesn't have a mobile phone or refuses to use one often. He said when he moved to LA in '97, nobody really had cell phones, and I just never went down that path. He also he chooses not to have an email address. So I don't know how he's managing to keep connections in the industry, but apparently with this film, he's guaranteed like 20% of the total gross, whereas apparently most directors earn after it's hit the budget of the film. So he's going to do well out of this regardless. But I mean,
Holy shit.
he's got a great body of work, but he sounds a bit kooky in some other aspects. I mean, not having a phone. I mean, completely not having a phone.
That's just irritatingly aloof, isn't it? Really, like I know people are
it's
like
hipster
that.
level, kind of
These
like
weird rules. Yeah,
there's a stubborn rejection of modern technology.
yeah.
But is he in a
And it's like,
position
well,
where people
you
just contact him
use
all the time?
incredibly complex cameras and technology
of
to make
course.
things.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is he sending out letters? Is he just posting letters?
He's
I
a
don't know.
traditionalist,
It
isn't he?
seems
Where it's like
pretentious.
film and
Trott,
authenticity.
this is a man that just approved putting his fucking premiere in Fortnite. You can't call him a traditionalist.
But in turn,
this is what I mean. When you read things like that, you think
discussing. That's what I'm trying to discuss. He's coming across as a
What?
traditionalist, so it's interesting that you think he'd have full control over everything to do with his films because they are his work of art, his carte noire.
vision. Yeah, his very own prestige.
Carte d'Or. His carte d'Or. His Magna Carta.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
it's
man,
in
your film's
Fortnite,
lit.
so it's
Rick and Morty, by the
interesting.
way, it's so good.
Maybe he's had kids and has changed his mind. That seems to be the thing. It's like, well, I didn't used to understand what Fortnite was until my kids started playing it, and now I have to make this movie and be this character in this franchise because my kids want me in it. Because usually I'm making all these adult films, and or I'm like a murderer in these kind of films. So I want one that my kids can enjoy.
Porn films.
Yeah.
Wait, who are you talking about here?
I'm just talking about in general. Like the people that are like suddenly make a pivot in their career from, say, not Ridley Scott, who did Mad Max. George Miller.
Oh, fuck. George Miller, yeah.
George Miller pivoted from Mad Max to Happy Feet because of his kids. And then went back.
Shit, really? I
So
think I have heard that before, but that still does shock.
Wait, Happy
It's very
Feet came
different.
out
Very
after
different
Mad
form
Max?
factors.
the originals, yeah.
Oh, right. Not like
The
Fury
original
Road.
Mad Max
Right.
set, yeah.
Not Fury Road, that came afterwards.
Right.
But yeah,
Who did
that's
Fury
the point.
Road? Was that him as well?
George Miller, yeah. He went back.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And
How old is
apparently
he
they're
now?
doing a prequel. He's 70 something.
Wow.
I guess it's almost on par with like actors trying to break out of stereotypical roles that they get put into. I mean, who's a good example of that? Maybe I guess what like we're seeing with Robert, what's his name? I forgot his surname now. Robert Pattinson, where he's obviously trying to break that Twilight mold that he was kind of pushed into quite early into his career.
Yeah.
After Harry Potter, of course, and the Goblet of Fire.
He was in it.
I saw he was in
was a
that
good
quite
Cedric
trippy
Diggory.
film on Netflix.
I thought he was a well-cast Cedric Diggory, I think.
Fair enough.
Personally.
I
liked
couldn't
him.
tell you.
I
either
don't
way.
think... what the fuck else? I don't think Orlando Bloom is very good at anything.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Nice.
That's just a dig.
Glad you cherry picked him. Well,
I've seen him in a few things. I'm just wondering.
How do I find
He gets
someone
into a lot of stuff, and
He
I'm
was
not
great as
sure I'd
Legolas, but
like
yeah, I know what
any
you
of it.
mean.
I think he just became
He
part of
wasn't
two
too
huge
bad
franchises, right? It's like Lord of the Rings,
In
then he got
Pirates,
straight into
yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean, and then it's like, well, we're kind of stuck with Orlando now because he's part of the main storyline.
He was kind of bad in Pirates of the Caribbean. He was fine as a emotionless elf in Lord of the Rings, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But then he's awful in that bloody thing with Cara Delevingne.
Oh Oh, man.
What was it
but
called?
Anything with Cara Delevingne in it is trash. We know
Park
this.
Row or something. What was it called? Something about. It was a good show. I liked it.
What about Kingdom in Heaven?
Carnival
though?
Row. It was called Carnival Row. He's
Carnival Row,
okay
yes,
in
his
Kingdom of
accent
Heaven.
was
I also
weird
watched
in
that
it.
recently. See, this is why I'm going on Orlando Bloom, because I've recently watched Kingdom of Heaven. I started watching and then had to stop watching the recent Pirates of the Caribbean because it's just awful.
It's really bad, right?
But like I don't know why I'm picking on him, but it just happens to be that he's been in a lot of films I've been watching recently, and I just figured, I was just like, I'm not sure he's really done anything beyond like, hi, I'm Orlando Bloom.
I
No,
feel the
you
same
can't
way
do that.
about his counterpart.
You'll be very shocked to learn that he
Alex
was. He
No,
was in
Keira
Casualty,
Knightley.
so
You don't like
I think
Keira Knightley?
well,
I
Keira
think
Knightley.
Keira Knightley is.
Yeah, but Trott, that's because you hate women.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but I think that's because he hates women. Jesus. No, I think that's more of a case. She does feel one-dimensional, and that's only because I think of the period dramas and stuff that she's been in. But then I feel that about period dramas. I hate period dramas. I just don't like watching them. I don't get a kick out of them.
I love period
Yeah,
dramas.
that's not
I
my-
love period dramas, actually. I fucking love
Pride
them.
and Prejudice, huge fan.
And not Pride and Prejudice, but stuff like War and Peace
I
is
can't tolerate
awesome.
them.
We're talking about the Russian aristocracy and Napoleon and shit. It's really great. James McAvoy does have some tasty range, though. As mentioned, I am a big fan of James McAvoy. I think he's great.
Yes, he is.
That's-
Yeah, I mean,
there you go. Shit
even
sandwich.
even that film, was it where is it, like a schizophrenic, where he had like several personalities. He really showed his skill there just by having to play several characters.
That's called
It's the
something
M. Night
else.
Shyamalan Ding Dong one. Split.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Was that M. Night
Ding Dong film,
Shyamalan?
Yeah.
No.
Split. Yes, it
it's,
was. Yeah.
It is Shyamalan.
Yeah, it was very-
Shyamalan
very
Ding
good.
Dong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
like
showed
that
his
film.
range.
We
And
need
yeah,
an
his role in
ending,
that was great.
but-
Apparently,
Yeah.
people were unhappy with his portrayal, though, or at least the condition
Yeah.
he had.
Who Trott?
I
Ding
can't
dong.
remember the name of the condition. Dissociative identity disorder.
Right.
Did basically
Okay.
it kind of
Yeah.
it almost is very like shallow interpretation of it. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
we're all
It's
completely
probably
different.
definitely more dramatized than it would be in real life, I imagine.
But it's
then that,
entertaining.
I guess it's hard to without exaggerating certain things. I imagine it's quite hard to get that across in the type of film that was. But I don't
Yeah.
know. It's a film.
I don't
like,
think that
you
was
know.
the crux of the whole thing anyway, right? It's not.
Yeah.
This is a guy with did, and this is how it is, kind of thing. It's more of a sort of
No,
fantastical
it's meant to be
element, right?
slightly paranormal, supernatural.
Yeah,
elements.
paranormal stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Well, especially
What,
you approach the end, you see how that pushes it.
Trott, you've seen 1917, haven't you? Now.
No,
Oh,
Oh.
my fucking god!
I'm so
Please
uncomfortable.
watch it so we can talk about it.
It's a really good one. It's a
It's
good
just
one.
Yeah,
the
I
number
will.
of cameos in it. The number of cameos in it is hilarious. Like,
Yeah,
I
British,
that's what
like
I
famous
say.
British
Like,
actors.
yeah, just like
Pattinson
there's
in
literally
it?
a bit. Again, I'm not going to spoil it, but like he walks in and then like one of the commanders turns around. You're just like, "Ow, it's him!" It's that guy. like
Okay,
it's like really
guy.
awesome. Yeah,
I will
but yeah,
watch it.
It's
I'll watch it today. How about that?
funny.
1917.
Go
Really,
for it. It's a good film. I mean,
Holy
don't act
shit.
like it's torture. Jeez.
No, it's just more
Well made,
time.
Yeah.
It's good. I think
In
you'll
lockdown,
appreciate
I'm
it's
so
more time,
busy.
is it?
yeah.
So busy.
Which was
I
your
think you'll
favorite Harry
appreciate the
Potter
camera work,
film?
at least.
Would you say?
Um,
The later ones.
I don't know. There's something magical about the first one. The first one is very Christmassy to me.
Yeah, it's got that
It is very
Spielbergy
like,
vibe.
It's got that very kind of
red
Christmassy
sort of
vibe.
feel.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah,
of gold.
obviously their acting is shit in it, but
it's like a Robert
the
Zemeckis
magical
film.
kind of beginning of it all. Yeah, it is actually. It's got that vibe, isn't it?
Yeah,
But I say the same about Lord of the Rings. Like I really enjoy the first one because obviously it's like it's an introduction to all these characters that go on this huge journey and stuff. You kind of, I don't know. There's something very magical about those first films. However,
True.
I do think the later films are better. But I do.
so you'd have to deal with the shitty
Yeah, love
acting
those
of the
first
kids. That's what puts me off the
I know,
original
but, like,
first films. It's like they're
there's
such
a
bad
different
actors.
feeling there. It's rather than just there's a different feeling.
Yeah, and then you got the John Williams score, which is really nice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's all whimsical in the first couple films, and then it gets real dark and edgy by the end ones.
Starts getting dark, but I think it's good.
Yeah.
It's quite a well balanced like gradient of mood as it goes across. I like it a lot.
The last two films I think are really great. Like I freaking loved the last two films. I thought they were really, really good. They had a really good tone to them because, like, whilst I completely agree, the first few films I can't remember who did them, but they who was the director of the first couple, because that was like their signature. Like, they bought that.
Not I almost said Columbus then.
I'm
sure it's the director of was it Home Alone? Surely not. I'm pretty sure the Home Alone director.
Chris Columbus. Chris Columbus. Yeah, you're right.
It was Columbus.
Chris Columbus. It was Chris Columbus. Okay. But if you say Christopher Columbus, it means
Home
an
Alone,
entirely different thing.
Doubtfire. It does.
Yeah.
It must be a nightmare.
And they all have that vibe. Like you can.
It's only the first two that he directed, and then he was burnt out by the third one, so it went to someone else for Prisoner of Azkaban. So
and they have that look, but then the final ones are totally different for different and good for different reasons. I think, like, because the first few miss the kind of there is a dark feel to the first book. Like, this kid's parents died horribly. He's being hunted down by a cult. Like there is quite a lot of like, and magic itself isn't necessarily a good thing, like, or a bad thing. Like, and the school's full of fucking things that can kill children. Like, it is inherently quite a dangerous thing. And so,
have you watched
and also,
like,
no, it's just I don't know why. I just thought about it. And yeah, the last few kind of capture that darker, like, people are fucking dying. Like when Cedric Diggory died in the books, that was pretty dark. Like, you're like, shit, this random dude, like, they were having this like school games and this random dude turns up. Imagine a guy just turning up to your sports day and just shooting one of the people. Like, you just, I know,
like, exactly. Fuck.
Like,
I wonder like if the perception of those films is different for us because they were actually released as we were growing up at similar ages as the people the characters in the films, right? So there was almost like a relativity to school life versus obviously this magical wizard, like, you know,
it really touched into the zeitgeist, I think, of like school life in the UK, but on a fantastical level. Which is
obviously I read the books as well, so that probably helped.
I didn't.
I don't know if that makes a difference.
I never could get into them.
I don't think you need to. But like, I definitely think that
no, you don't. You don't
help
need to read
me
the books
a bit more.
I find that reading the books just gives you more depth, doesn't it? And like, I wouldn't go back and read Harry Potter now, not after like this many years. Like, I just there's so much good fantasy out there, now that like I wouldn't go back, but. Yeah, at the time I absolutely loved it. I ate the books up like crazy.
Well, because you remember at the time,
and then obviously my sister lost my first edition. Sorry.
Oh my god! There was a story about a first edition the other day. Someone found a first edition in a school bin, like a bin outside of a school. I think they managed to sell them for $33,000.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's the story. So, Harry Potter first edition found in Skip sells for £33,000. A hardback first edition book was found in Skip. It looked pretty tattered as well, alongside two paperback editions, all first editions. There were only 500 made of the first editions.
What's crazy is on the inside cover of it as well. Did you see the picture of that? It's got 3 letters, Liv. L-I-V.
Liv's book, do not take.
Don't take. 33K. Missed out on that, Smith.
Apparently, yeah. So that's a real story, and that was literally just 2 days. That was yesterday. That news came out. That's amazing.
That could have
you
been
mentioned
yours.
that last week, didn't you? Or
that could have been your first edition. Just saying.
That's my long lost heirloom. That's my Horcrux. It's got my soul in it.
Don't stab it.
Yeah.
In a skip, and quite fittingly, it was found in a skip. Excellent.
Yeah. Tied up.
Just thrown recklessly, carelessly, just like J.K. Rowling's Twitter feed.
Yeah, just chuck it out there, left, right, and centre.
Christ, she's gone insane.
Yeah. It first came out in 97. 1997 that came out, Harry Potter. I didn't realise that.
Yeah. Quite a long time ago.
When did Jurassic Park come out? 1993? I'm going to say 1993.
93, I think we found out the other day in the quiz.
Release
day. That time period feels really crunched now. Probably as we're older and time becomes more... It's
1993?
Crazy. Yeah. Like, the gap between Jurassic Park and Harry Potter seems so vast, but really, it was only a few years apart. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, no, definitely.
I mean, I don't know when was the original book written about Jurassic Park though, because
Michael
that was a
Crichton.
lot longer before, right?
Yeah, but no one knew about it until the. Well, I'm sure a lot of diehard readers knew about it. It's probably quite a prolific book, but it really captured the populace with Spielberg's film. Right?
1990,
He
3
wrote it in
years earlier.
1990. There was only 3 years between.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I feel
Yeah.
not that
Okay.
long between book
I
and
thought it'd
film.
be an 80s book. Fair
I
enough.
reckon.
It's a
Yeah.
really cool concept for a
That's close
book.
enough.
Like, I can
Very
see why a
cool.
film was made of
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
in 1989, a series of strange animal attacks occur in Costa Rica and a nearby fictional island of Isla Nublar. And like, I don't know, just somebody told you that, like, oh, there's been some like dinosaur attacks in Portugal. Like, what? Or like animal attacks in Portugal. And it turns out that
Yeah.
there's a whole fucking scientific plant of people reinventing out dinosaurs. This is a really cool idea. I think that would make a great film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It'll
so
get
too.
remade,
Let's see if
don't
they
worry.
do anything with it.
Yeah.
Well, it already has in a way.
If you check the,
Like, I mean,
check the link in chat, you can see our page on the Rooster Teeth website, by the way. And I got a really good pride of place on it. I got a great shot.
Yeah. Really good shot
What
here.
you guys think?
okay, so to describe the picture, just for anyone
Okay.
listening, it's a picture of me and Trott. We're kind of crouched down, and then Smith's underneath Trott's knee, so his face is barely visible.
We didn't
He's literally almost
this.
being
Oh, right
sat
hand side
on
of my
by me
face.
and Smith, me and Trott.
Amazing.
So
Yeah, you got pride of
that's good,
place.
isn't it? Half my face is clipped off, guys. There's about 40%
Yeah.
of me in the image. Like,
Who
That's
chosen
clearly,
to
yeah. I don't know
just
who chose that
upload?
one, but you are buried.
If you're on Rooster
Look at this.
Teeth and you listen to us through this, we've chosen just videos from this year, so it's kind of like our reinvention, so to speak. It's our new
Yeah.
stuff, so you don't need to
There are
deal with all
thousands
our
of other videos.
yeah, on YouTube if you care.
There's
More
plenty.
gaming focused, but all our road trips and shit as well. All our cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's on the channel.
Subtle,
we have a
Smith.
channel as
Very subtle.
Hey,
Yeah,
Smith, how
do
do
you
you
like
feel now that
that?
you've what did he do?
He definitely went
I
off
tried
the
to make it
page.
look like I accidentally closed the vMix call and then it froze and then I reconnected the vMix call and I tried to make my face the same shape as the one on here, like to make it look like
Okay.
and Trott's subtle. I thought it was.
Pretty good.
How do you feel being 32 now, Smith? Your birthday was a couple of days ago. Obviously, I don't know why you ask. Oh, why am I even fucking asking? But
No,
Had a
no, it's
birthday,
fine.
how'd you feel?
Fine, good. Actually, I think that yesterday was a better day than my birthday, and not because of any particular
Mhm.
reason, but I just felt better yesterday. I felt
Mhm.
obviously there was a huge success in Rocket League. We had
Big day.
oh yes, of course. Yeah.
yeah.
Big day.
That
That was big, to be fair.
Yesterday
It's rare.
was a nice day. My birthday was lovely as well. Obviously, you got to do all the fun stuff and things, and presents
The whole sauce.
and stuff. I don't know. I think that, like, yeah, I feel fine. I really don't care how old people are. If you know what I mean.
Sure.
Like,
That's
like
dangerous.
obviously,
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
that is dangerous. In a very innocent way. I don't really mind. You know, I can get on with
He
people
doesn't judge someone
who are
based by
younger
their
than me. I
age.
can get on with people that are older than me. So for me, like birthdays, especially when you get older, especially when it's not like about exciting a child anymore. You know, like obviously when the kid's growing
Yeah,
up
yeah.
and like it's a really awesome thing to have your birthday, and I totally get that. Like, yeah, for kids, sure, but I think once you get a bit older, you're like, give a fuck.
Yeah.
I almost feel
It's just a
bad because
birthday, isn't it?
my mum was like, oh, I feel really bad. Like you're in lockdown, like for your birthday and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, oh, I wanted to,
Yeah,
you know, have a nice barbecue or something. And I was just like, Mum, don't worry about it. Like I feel like your birthday as a child of an adult, being an adult yourself, is more stressful for them than it is for you, because they're always like, oh no, I need
Yeah.
to get them something they'll really like, and I want them to have a good day. And like obviously they're just being nice. But for me, I kind of go like,
Being parents.
don't worry about, like I don't want you to worry about me, you know, like that feels I
Yeah.
don't know if that makes sense, but like
I'm all
like,
right now.
don't
I
worry
don't
about
need
it.
a birthday.
yeah. But then again,
It's
then
weird
they
because
go,
I had
oh,
the
but I want to
opposite.
be part of your life still. I want to be your parent, and you're like, don't really want a parent either, to be honest with you. I mean,
shit.
I'm more competent at life I'm more confident in life than you are now. So if you can step away from the Zoom call that you've been trying to connect your audio to for the last 30 minutes, I mean, yeah. And I sound like an asshole, and I appreciate that. I promise it doesn't come from a place of hate. It's more of a place of love in that we have a limited amount of time on this planet, and let's all have as much fun as possible. And for me, 30 minutes of technical questions on Zoom is not fun. So, you know, do you want me getting mad?
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting angry. You're getting angry that I'm angry, and now we're all angry. You know, I don't know. Just.
Will you miss
I think
it?
it very much depends on your
when it's
relationship with
gone?
your parents, because some people are very close to their parents, and they obviously, you know, don't want to be far away from in this situation where we're all locked down and, you know, can't see anyone, etc. Some people can't really handle it and really want to see their parents desperately. But I mean, I don't have that kind of relationship with my parents, but I call them and stuff every now and then, and that's fine. However, I did feel quite guilty that because it was my dad's 60th this year, and it was only a few days before yours, and I just felt bad because I was like, oh shit,
I'm
that's a
32.
big deal. Well, no, but. But I felt bad because obviously I couldn't go over there. I couldn't say, do any big gestures or whatever. It was just very much just like a call on Skype or not Skype on just a FaceTime, I think it was. But that was it. It just felt like, oh shit, this is like a big moment in someone's life. They're 60 or whatever. Or does it really matter? Part of me was like, well, it doesn't really matter. It's just literally
When you get to 60,
a number,
do you care even less?
I feel like shit. Yeah, it's the type of thing where it's just like where your mum calls you, oh, did you send him a card? Did you send him a card? It's like, oh, did I? Oh, fuck, did I send him a card? I don't know. It's like, I'm not too.
But you
bothered.
care about
in fact,
that
I'd rather people
because-
didn't send me cards either.
Yeah, same, definitely. I'm
I
so
just
done
because
with
they're going to
cards.
throw them away in a few days. I'd rather literally a
Yeah.
text is the same to me in terms of like they've remembered, they've said something
It's
nice,
nowhere near as wasteful.
and that's cool. That's nice to know. Yeah, I don't really care about cards too much, but I know somebody who gets like several cards from their dad, like in different tones. I won't say who, just 'cause I don't know if it's embarrassing or not. But they get like a jovial card, and then like a jokey one, but then like a serious one where it's like, you know, those with the fancy
but
lettering.
honestly, though, I'm really happy with. I
and
really
then
do
one
love
cheeky
you.
one. It's just like
Yeah,
it's like
that was just a
I'm
joke.
sure-
that
fair
one.
enough. I mean,
and they couldn't give a shit
it's
about
really
like
not
having both
cards.
of them, but like. Yeah, exactly. Or like they overthink it. You overthink these things so often. So it's like, should I send a card? Would they even care? Like I didn't send my brother a birthday card. Like I was like, he won't care.
Yeah.
He just wants some money. I know that. I know him enough.
Do you
But it's
think
my mum who'll be like, oh, did you send him a card
centenarians-
though?
Do you think 100-year-old people care about everyone just really caring about them being 100?
It depends
think
if they're
so.
all there at the time. I think it is quite a nice gesture, isn't it? It's like you've. It's the one from the Queen. People are like very like, oh god, did you receive the letter from the government when they were announcing this coronavirus stuff? So they sent like a letter or whatever, and it you know had number 10 Downing Street written on it or whatever, and some people took it like that was like some sort of this amazing regal gift that they've received, as if like he'd handwritten it and you know posted it himself, licked the stamp. It's like. Fuck, no, that's just a fucking photocopy.
Don't revere.
There's nothing special about this at all in the slightest. Why would you ever like put that on a high pedestal? I have no idea, but some people were like putting on their fucking fridge, just like, wow, the Prime Minister sent me a fucking letter about coronavirus. It's like, yeah,
Good job, the laser printer just.
I don't understand that.
For you.
It's the same for the Queen's
Because
like
they don't-
cards. The Queen sends a card when you get you turn 100. Is it the same? It's just another fucking printout. Surely she's got loads of them.
It's strange how, that there's so much pride and patriotism to that from the older generation that we no longer have. We're disenfranchised with our government for sure.
Maybe, yeah.
It's not patriotism though. This is the problem. This is what's so complicated about all of it, right? It's not patriotism.
Loving your country isn't loving your government.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's it. Essentially, that's what it comes down to. It's these people are exploiting that notion of patriotism and of loyalty as well. Because essentially that's what patriotism is. It's loyalty to an area. It's tribalism, which is fundamentally a bad thing, but that's what it is. And the thing is, people listening to this and people watching this probably know that because you like us, and that means you like our opinions. And people who share our opinions probably like our opinions. So again, I'm probably just shouting into an echo.
Well, I'm here and I don't like your
opinion.
opinion.
I'm not going to go into that, but yeah, well, maybe. But it is annoying.
There is a
when you
clear difference.
when
I
you see
understand what
people
you mean.
doing these things. Yeah,
because we get it. We get quite a lot from, obviously we criticize the American government a lot because it's unbelievable some of the things that they get away with doing and do in front of people's faces all the time, every day. They say them out loud and then someone says it's a lie. It's fucking shocking. But I love America as a country. It's fucking amazing. The people we meet are great.
Yeah.
So when we slag that off, we're not slagging off a fucking country. We're slagging off the government in charge making those mistakes and doing those crazy things. But America's great. I fucking love it. Same with the UK. I love the UK. But we've got a questionable government, and I don't like the government. Doesn't mean I don't like the country. So very different things. And I think that's quite. You sometimes have to point it out to some people because I think they do blend those two things and think that you're. Don't slag off my country. It's like, no, I fucking love your country. I'm sure you're a great person. I'm sure your family are fantastic, etc. But it's not about that.
Hung up and
it's about these horrible people in charge.
About anything being said bad about their country, though, which is strange.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a strange,
But you should have to love the president just because
that means that person is not willing to look at the flaws in order to improve their country. They're just taking it for what it is and saying, like, this is the way it is. Don't say anything bad about my president. That's just my country.
Well, the other thing I try to remind myself of about America is like something like 2/3 of the population didn't vote. So like if you look at America and say, oh, okay, so this person wins by a majority, that doesn't mean that that opinion is the prevailing one through the majority of America. Like it's something like 330 million people didn't vote, and then it's like 50 million either side or 500. Sorry, I can't remember the figure, but like essentially it broke down to there's about 20% of people vote for one side, 20% vote for the other, and then the rest of people just don't vote at all. And it's just like, holy shit, like. Which is it's still relevant. It's still relevant because obviously the people in control will still have a massive impact on all of those people in that country. But like it is a weird one to think. Like like you say, especially when we've done travel and stuff in the States, and like all the people we meet have been really nice on the whole, apart from that one guy in Minneapolis airport. He was an asshole. And has made an indelible mark on me, and only made me dislike Republicans more, or how they see themselves as Republican.
I want to make it mega clear what we're trying to say here, including our live audience. Like, we're not saying that America's worse than England or anything like that. We know England is also a piece of shit, and our government is also a piece of shit. We're not saying like America's worse because of blah, blah, blah. It's literally we can objectify certain things that are within America. It doesn't mean America as a whole is this. Like Ross was saying, it's like we don't like that specific thing that's specifically in America right now. Much like we don't like that specific thing that's in our own country right now. There's no difference. We could say that about any country. It's just our best experiences are because we've been in America a lot and we've been in the UK a lot. That's all. Smith has got some new opinions about Kenya, so because he's been there.
I don't like to see things as simply black and white when it comes to like politics and stuff as well. I really hate the idea that everything's just done in teams. Because I support that person or that group, I have to support the person in charge.
It's not a team. I
think that's
it's
bullshit.
So black
and I hate
white.
that mentality because it means you're not really thinking outside the box at all. You're not even like logically thinking about the complex scenarios that they're in. There's so many different variables that you can't just be like, I'm going to support them blindly, no matter what. That guy's done some atrocities, but I'm going to fucking go for it anyway because that's my previous, disposition. It's just stupid. I just think that you need to think about what you believe in sometimes and what they've done, and that should have an impact on what you choose to.
What do you?
In terms of what?
Aren't you?
Pro-life. What you mean in terms? I think people should be free to do whatever they want with their bodies.
As long as they don't.
I think that's just a given, isn't it? Surely, but it's not a child yet, and that's the thing. It's not taking its first breath, etc. I just don't think that that's like. It's entirely up to them because it's a massive decision. You could fuck a kid's life entirely by being in a terrible position in your life and bringing them into the world and just not being prepared. So you fuck someone else over. It's like, is that fair?
I don't think people are ready to have that argument enough. Like, it's just like, hey, you know what's worse than death? Living like this kid.
But what's worse is like the people that staunchly stand by some of those views are then like, well, but everyone should have a fucking gun in their home. But if you use that gun, then you're going to go to jail or some shit. It's so backwards, but it's so complex that it's so hard to just go, I decide I believe in one thing over the other.
Yeah,
You have to look at all these things and go, I think that's wrong because of this. And you have to kind of just start analysing things in your head and look at other articles, not just one, and make a blind decision on that. Which I don't think it's quite hard these days because I think there is false news everywhere.
The most frustrating thing about making these judgment calls and these moral calls about like people you see is that it's really hard to gauge their level of like consciousness, if you get what I mean. So like some people operate on a very like they're very conscious of things around them, and other people operate on they don't want to be conscious of things around them for different reasons. And I'm not saying those are wrong or right, but like it's very difficult to debate people about issues you disagree with because they have a completely different set of like a frame of reference. So like it's really hard. Like
everyone has their own separate lives with different variables.
Yeah, and so it's really, really hard to like my dad is like a very liberal guy, you know, always nude for a start, which is just too much for me most of the time. But no, he always gets into these arguments with more conservative people, and he just doesn't quite get like the whole like he'll say something to them, and he's really good at doing his research and like all this sort of stuff and saying like this, like giving evidence and stuff, but like he still doesn't win these people over that he's arguing with, because like that's not how you win a person over who has a different opinion to you. You have to try and work out how they think and present a concept to them in the way that they see it, and that's really difficult, and that's why we have so much division, I think, and that's why tribalism is bad, because it naturally stops that analysis from happening. And like essentially if you want to beat someone in an argument, you need to understand how they're going to rebuke you. Like
you can't attack it, which we're all guilty of doing, especially Alex Smith, which is when something is wrong and you're presented that thing as wrong, Smith, you're more likely to say, that's fucking stupid and I can't believe you think that. Here's why you're wrong.
What, me? Yeah, it's really hard to try and convince somebody, like, because sometimes it's just so hard to understand a person's.
And by that point, you probably already tried to do it a million times to a million people, and this person's unfortunately come across you when you're already at your wit's end with this situation or the topic that you're speaking about. It's like, you don't fucking know this already? I've been through this countless times. Etc.
Well, it's weird because obviously sometimes when you see these things, and I said it last time, but like, and you want to say something, about it, but you need to kind of step back and think, who am I saying that to? Does anyone give a shit about my opinion about that specific thing? And am I going to change him in his mind? I'm probably not going to change him in his mind. But like when you read, you know, other presidents encouraging people to, you know, drink bleach or whatever it was, you lose your mind, but there's nothing you can really do to change other people's opinion. If someone goes, well, I'm going to do exactly what he says, it's like, how am I going to convince that person otherwise? They've already been indoctrinated to this thing probably years earlier. You can't just go, oh, don't do what he says. It's like, don't listen to this man. It's like they trust them already. Like it's a very hard argument to fight against, even though it seems blindingly obvious in some scenarios.
I think it's also important to kind of check yourself now and again, because sometimes you get the problem is the fact that you think you're so sure of yourself that you are correct, then it's stupid and ridiculous that someone else would have this other opinion when I so clearly know that what is right and wrong, and you're coming from your position. I already made my assumptions about you being wrong based on who you are and what you're doing. That's when you need to check yourself and realize that, oh fuck, am I just being that person that everyone says is that guy, you know? I think that's also important. But it's hard. Like every conversation that has opposites creates emotion, and emotion muddies a good argument and a good discourse and a good discussion. And that's where it always ends up with, is why there's fucking violence and shit, is because that's emotion being the driving force behind dialogue. So it's hard.
Or childish tactics.
I think everyone needs a shot collar.
You know, unleashed.
Dog law.
Shot collar. I mean, even bringing it to like more kind of pettier things, or like more kind of, I don't know, things within our realm. I mean, I don't know if any of you have paid attention to this kind of argument between Ethan from H3H3 and Keemstar at all. Have either of you paid attention to that?
I had a whiff of it, but I haven't really engaged with it.
I've had
I saw a little bit.
So obviously, years before, obviously, iDubbbz made a content cop on Keemstar, right? And obviously, Keemstar's done countless things that are just awful and horrible and nasty and whatever, and have driven people to do all sorts of different things. And that was basically his argument. But you see these two kind of sides where it's like you're not going to win against somebody who literally is using this to, if anything, fuel them. You're helping them out more.
It's literally,
and we've discussed that again, and it's just like you're not going to win that battle because they're always going to win because they enjoy that. You're not taking them down by using facts and using obvious statements. Before. People will always stand by them.
They've gone through the shit before. Like they've been called out multiple times, and they fucking revel in it. Yeah. H3 should know better than that to not give him the notoriety he wants.
But H3 the H3 family live in like a $3 million mansion, right? Like the H3 guys are experts at making what they do look gonzo, but they are very much in the same racket that Keemstar is in, this news generating racket.
It's generating popularity and notoriety and eyes on them as well. So yeah, they're buying into it, I guess.
It's all just back and forth fuckfest. You suck my dick, I'll suck yours. It's like the YouTube boxing fiasco. It's the same deal. It's just people collabing in ways that make things exciting. They're just really good at making it relevant.
He's not doing anything good or divine or calling anyone out for the good of the YouTubes. He's doing it because he knows it's going to be a fucking good story for his podcast. That's ultimately what he's doing it for. Like, and people need to not take sides like before. It's like, tell him Keemstar out him, blah, blah, blah.
And this is why, like, this idolatry and fanaticism over people, especially in, like, YouTube and Instagram and influencer spheres in general. This is something that we've spoke about this before, and I've always struggled with it, I don't want to say it's an imposter feeling, because I don't feel like an imposter. I don't feel that, like, I am lesser than anyone around me. It's more that understanding that you're part of something that is a little bit nefarious and a little bit like people shouldn't put people on pedestals in general. I think, like, sure, like, like, it's great to celebrate people's success and when we have technological and medical advancements and all that sort of stuff, brilliant. But at the same time, I think it's dangerous to put anyone on a pedestal because they are not a perfect person. And H3 is an example of this, where they have like a cult like following, like. It's also
both of them have
idolatry is a sin for a reason
together. It's just
exactly. Be inspired by people, but don't put them on a pedestal.
Just basically clashing fan groups.
Also, like, you got to be careful with the fucking ban hammer as well, because cancel culture is also as extremely toxic as calling out the drama as well. Like, you get the people that then go on a crusade of like, well, if this person is an awful person, let's make sure they are never heard again and that they have no prospects in the future ever again. Again, this is another black and white mentality of they've done a single wrong and therefore they are now stamped and marked and brandished as an awful person for the rest of their lives, which is just the worst. Anything can be taken out of context. Anyone can go back through a log of like 10 years of history on the internet and find something that can destroy a person. And that's very dangerous.
But it's more of the case of like, look, Keemstar's an asshole. War is wet. It's kind of it's been like that since he's been on the platform. I don't feel like I feel like bringing it back up again and trying to take him down or whatever is just building him up again, and that's kind of the opposite thing that you assume that they're trying to achieve from doing it. A lot of people were annoyed because he was going after his sponsor or whatever, but ultimately it's the sponsor's decision to sponsor whoever they deem fit to do so. If a major league, if a football player, goes off and does something horrific, they're going to lose their sponsors. That's just how that works. And it's
temporarily.
I feel like I wonder how much of responsibility falls on like companies like Twitter or YouTube and stuff for giving these giant people, like these people, these massive platforms to cause some damage on. Like how much?
The problem.
I mean, obviously,
free speech.
Is that to do with freedoms, or is it like?
At what point do you step in? Yeah, exactly.
Well, freedom to say things is one thing, but actively promoting people is another, right? So on a platform that is quickly becoming, like I've said before, social media and online communication platforms are, I think, becoming a human right and a civil right. And so when those things are controlled and shaped in a way that is causing other people to see something more often, then you've got to admit that there's a form of propaganda, or not necessarily in order to create some sort of effect, but like when you see something promoted by YouTube and like their Twitter replies to it or something, that is, retweets equal endorsement. Like, and so therefore it's a statement that this person or this thing is representative of how we think, and therefore like that's how you should think, really, is what that's saying.
That value
there was a Twitter post sponsored by Scientology.
Oh,
exactly. Media is like we've very, very quickly gone from a format and a media and a website that is about creating personalized media and sharing it with other individuals to something that looks nothing like that 10 years later. Like, this is the thing, like it's changed. It's completely changed. Like, and this is why people are constantly looking for new platforms, because they're constantly trying to rediscover that feeling of nobody else is here but me and my audience. But in reality, that audience is now a mass of directed signals, inputs and outputs and stuff. It's really fucking crazy.
That's what I was trying to say about cancel culture. It's not necessarily, I wasn't talking about the dangerous effects of cancel culture, because it's not proven whether it's effective or not. I say cancel culture is dangerous to the people that get wrapped up in it, because it's very easy to then tarnish this person with thoughts and opinions of other people, that he's a terrible or they're a terrible person, and for you to believe and assume such a thing based on not really much evidence other than what you've been told by various drama channels or whatever. It's more about that than what the cancel culture actually does. It's just like,
a
don't
lawyer
buy
building
into
a
it.
case in
Just don't care. Don't care so much.
But once you have these massive followings, you can easily dogpile on certain people you don't like, or companies you don't like, or whatever. And I wonder how dangerous that is. I mean, I'm sure there's probably examples of horrendous stuff happening already, but I mean, if you have a massive platform, you decide you fucking hate Coke over Pepsi or some shit, and you wanted to take them down, or kind of.
Hold on, Ross. This is sounding familiar.
I mean, is
this you?
It does sound familiar.
Your Pepsi Max campaign. This sounds.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, let me get a close up on that. Just got to fulfill our sponsors.
How does it taste? Does it make you feel refreshed? Wow. Do you feel like more switched on?
It's actually a little bit flat. I wasn't drinking this before, and there's a little bit.
This is just a dead one. This is a dead one you left on your.
Even when it's flat,
you don't know what's
it's
going on
fantastic.
Right now, Ross has picked up a can of Pepsi Max.
If only.
It's literally just right there.
No,
let's go get another stab on the back.
This podcast is still not
sponsored.
They've
dropped us.
Still not sponsored.
Pepsi have dropped us.
They've dropped us. Shit.
Fuck.
I wasn't holding the can properly. Fuck's sake.
Well, you said it was flat as well.
I recommend
it is a little bit
Eco
flat,
Plus Screen Cleaner. When I'm
thirsty,
Eco Plus Screen Cleaner is all I reach for.
Can you take it intravenously, please? That's the only way I like to take things these days. Wow, big thumbs up.
The taste is good.
Yeah, he won't
I
drink
do have
it again,
some funny news if you want to move on.
Fuck.
We almost lost that one too.
Yeah, go on. We can do funny news.
Right. I'm just going to read this.
I just realised something.
Mum,
I'm not recording my Audacity right now. Is that an issue?
No, it's going to be such a clean
neither am
audio
I.
from video. It's going to be fine.
Cool.
All right,
go on. Funny news.
Well, I don't know why we didn't do that. But yeah, okay. Funny news. Mum loves showering with daughter, 19, each morning, and says it's best way to start day. A mother of 19, and this isn't a porno. I'm not reading this from a porno. This isn't. She's genuine, and there's a video.
Ross, you got this from the.
I'm amazed she's got 19 daughters.
It's awful. It's an awful place, Trott. I know, but it's a story.
Daughter 19 isn't a particularly creative name for your daughter.
Are patrons available?
No. Why didn't they say the age of the mum? Why didn't they say, mum 40 or 55?
Daughter 19. Best way to start day. I mean, sure. I mean, that looks pretty kinky. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've seen videos like this end differently.
Right.
What?
When you're young, your parents help you do almost anything, including bathing and washing your hair. But as you grow older, you become more independent, and they're able to do these tasks on your own. How much older, though? Like, where's the cutoff? What year do you think is the cutoff for your mum showering you? Come on. Do we have an age? 6? 5? 4?
3 or 4? Yeah, 3,
okay.
4, 5, like at most. Like, young.
Yeah.
Young.
I honestly have no reference point. I don't know. You remember way back into when you were 3. So when did your mum stop showering you, Smith?
Well, I was more of a bath kid.
That's Riley Reid. It's
personally.
not Riley
I had a lot of baths. I didn't really shower until I
Lot
was
of
a bit
baths.
older.
Yeah, I had a lot of baths. We didn't have a
Yeah.
shower
Fair.
installed until I was like 12, 13, I think.
Okay.
Booth says my mum would just lower me into a stream via a rope. Oh, it's grim up north. It's grim up north.
Was that a well?
Yeah,
I
very
think it was
different
just a
living.
well.
Different living. The 55-year-old
up all
parent,
clean.
known as Mary, appeared on TLC's reality TV show Smothered. The M is capitalized in that. Smothered. Where she admitted to showering with her teenage daughter Brittany each morning. Mary and Brittany lived together in Jensen Beach. It literally sounds like I'm reading a porno, though. Like that intro is like. I mean, not that
You're on
there's
some
meant. I mean, there's
interesting
not many
categories.
pornos I've read recently.
This feels
It's normally just
This
a
feels-
a dirty thumbnail.
Yeah, feels
Yeah.
less healthy than you'd think. I don't know. I'm all for open states of mind, and like, I mean, if that was a sex cult, I wouldn't bat an eyelid at it. But it's not a sex cult. It's just two people living
Oh, it's
together.
just a cult.
A mother and a daughter showering with each other. I mean, maybe they're like super like impoverished, so they can only afford to have one shower a day. And again, I can sympathize with that.
I don't know.
Go for it. But I just don't think it's that situation.
far.
Honestly, I'm willing to give them. I'm
Yeah.
willing to write them all the excuses they can have, but I just don't think it is that situation.
It's like that Simpsons episode where Bart chooses not to shower anymore because they're trying to save money, and Marge is like, "There's other ways
Yeah.
we can save money first." I don't think
That's a porno as well, isn't it? He's been clicking on
Yeah,
his
there's
Marge
loads of
Simpson
that.
porno ads.
loads of that online.
Oh, not the gifts and the not sidebar gifts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Marge
There's loads of
Simpson, Peter Griffin. For some reason, the show cross
Getting
collabs
pegged.
with shows and stuff. I don't know what that's
Peter
about.
Griffin getting pegged by Maggie.
But if you, I mean,
Maggie.
I feel like Maggie. Why is she there?
God.
It's a cartoon,
She's using the
anything
dummy
goes,
to peg
apparently.
him.
Oh my god. Oh
me.
my god.
Don't
They're
make a
cartoons,
cartoon.
Trot. It's hand drawn. It's art. Chill out.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right.
well, I'll move on from that story to something a bit more
Someone had to
palatable.
draw it.
Okay, so here's the headline for this one. Mum drinks sperm smoothies to fight off coronavirus.
That just sounds like an excuse.
Mum makes sperm smoothies.
A mother
Why
is
is it always mums?
Yeah.
Why is it always
Then hand
mums?
it to
Don't know
daughter
why.
and shower.
A mother of two believes that drinking smoothies with a shot of sperm have helped to boost her immune system and is helping prevent coronavirus. Her
Ross,
name's
this
Tracy
is from the
Kiss.
Metro.
It is from the Metro. Troy. It's still a story. It's still a funny
Again.
story.
From this range, she looks like an attractive person, Trot. This is just news sites using porn affiliation to get more clicks. This is all it is.
That's
This is the same
exactly
fetish
right.
you have
That's
on
what we're doing.
Pornhub, where yes,
32.
this is the same
Same old as-
fetish on
same age as
Pornhub
you,
wher
Smith.
everything is now stepmom stuff. Now they're doing it
Her
with this.
name's
Going,
Kiss,
oh
for
yeah, but
Christ's
she
sake."
does look a bit of sperm in her drink. This is for like those kind of people and us to be outraged.
Also, I
Taylor
don't think
specific, the way the
a
world is
doctor has
going.
come by to test this out. I don't think this has been
No.
tested. It says here she says she's not had the cold or a flu for 3 years because of a concoction, which is made using donations from her boyfriend. And she
Direct
takes 3 shots a
correlation.
week, guys.
It's got to be the jizz smoothie. It's got to be.
She found a
I
free
mean,
and
like-
vegan-friendly alternative method to boost the body's immune system.
Free and vegan.
It's fucked up.
It's not
She also
so
puts on
free
her face
because
to
you have to
care for
keep
skin.
your
I mean-
husband alive because that's where you get the product from.
What, you think
It's not
she's
free.
just got him on a table, milking him?
like a milk farm.
He's hooked up. He's hooked up and he can't escape. He's all tied
He's
up.
pinned there.
He's got machines. He's been injected to
Forcibly
stay
milking.
very virile all the time.
He's hot. Still,
When
constantly
he's
hot.
away, she freezes his sperm when he's away, so she can have an ice cube tray
that's
of
good.
jism.
Is
Yeah.
sperm
So she can
vegan
keep
when it's
having those
technically
smoothies.
a protein that is a living organism?
Oh yeah, but like, I guess it depends, isn't it? It's only if the animal isn't being tortured in any way, right?
Yeah, but this guy's strung up and he's got injections and
Yeah, but is he
an adapter on his
I don't
penis.
think he's having it.
no, he's been sucked
He's
dry.
got like
It's
he's literally
fine.
got his udder suckers on his cock.
It's like
Yeah,
that.
and his nuts are
mother's
these
milk.
tiny little like raisins, just little raisin nuts.
Yeah, they've been absolutely destroyed. Yeah.
He's a cannibal.
Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
I don't know if that's actually a thing because when you look at the pictures, I mean, it seems like it's just a porn story, if anything. Again, what is it with these? I mean, To be fair, all the other stories are depressing coronavirus ones. So, like, I mean, it's hard to find anything funny these days. Apparently, a Thai massage shop is reopening soon, from the waist down only. Why is that? Why is the waist down any different? Like, you're still fucking within 2 meters of them. You're touching someone. Why do they have to state that that's waist down only?
You can't get coronavirus.
Trott, you'll be able to get
through
your
that.
ass massages again. Trott loves an ass
Finally.
cheek massage.
So what's the name of this massage? My name is...
The name of massage. Her name is, what was it?
her
Lynn
name?
or something? I can't remember what her name was.
Ping? Is it Ping?
I can't remember.
I didn't find these news stories watching pornography. The
My
porn
name
is in
is
the story.
Lek. Is that right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lek.
okay.
How
what's
how
the
were
name
our
of this
hands, though,
massage?
more
Okay.
importantly?
And why are you going to town on my
supple.
bare ass?
It's one of those like painful but
Didn't wear
soothing
pants.
massages. Didn't wear pants. I didn't know. You guys got given pants.
Well, yeah. Well, we didn't want to make it weird. We put the pants on and we held hands.
Oh, okay, nice.
Those pants barely fit. They were so thin. I feel like if I bent
Oh.
over, they would have torn open. Was that the intention?
Yeah.
Was that
you
what?
got a
Yeah.
was
popping
supposed to
ass
happen?
though, Ross? You got a
Fucking
shelf.
rip it open
yeah.
like a bag of
I forgot.
onions.
Ooh, see what's inside.
Bust through the mesh.
The perfect hair.
Holy shit.
They were tiny little pants at the time. But they didn't massage my ass, so maybe I missed
Shame.
out. I feel like I missed
Yeah.
out.
Shame. Yeah.
There was another story that I think I got from last time, which was man agreed to pay prostitute with hamburger. A New Mexico man is facing charges after police said he agreed to pay an undercover officer posing as a prostitute with a hamburger.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how that was bartered down to a hamburger, but it says according to a criminal
Maybe
complaint,
they asked
36-year-old.
for it.
Maybe.
Maybe they said, pay me a hamburger.
He approached the undercover officer while riding his bike and asked her how much she charged. When Calderon said he didn't get paid until Friday, the officer said he could pay with his burger, and he agreed. That feels like it was in jest almost. It feels like if you go up to someone and go, how much do you charge? Do you really expect them to go, well, let's start dealing the business, let's start going down to numbers? Because just because you got a hamburger in your hand, they accepted it. That seems like entrapment. Does it not? The officer's accepting whatever's in the guy's hands as a form of payment for prostitution, then arrests
It does
him.
certainly feel like it. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they got the right guy because yeah, literally, like, what the fuck? And it's like, oh god, they got me here. I gave her the burger. Bam, arrested. Turns out though, he
it.
was already a registered sex
Oh, come
offender,
on.
so it was fine.
Oh.
It was a good.
Oh.
It was a good thing. So
Oh.
it's fine. They arrested the right guy. It wasn't just
Right.
a simple bait and
There's more
switch.
to it.
Entrapment's
There's
okay
always
now,
more
right?
to it.
Entrapment's okay now. Now we know it's a sex offender.
Entrapment's okay now. That
Yeah.
apparently so.
It's
yeah,
a weird
I
double
think
standard.
so.
It's a weird double standard, but
It is weird.
I stand by
yeah.
it. No.
It's just it really does fit with his previous crimes. I mean, it's just like, well, I mean, is he going around asking
does.
everyone on his bike for how much they charge? If a man came up to you and
Maybe.
said, how much do you charge? What is on his bike? Would you laugh at him, or would you start looking around for nearby possessions to say what you could pay for with?
I'd laugh at
Well,
that
give me the bike,
guy,
mate, and,
'cause I'd laugh at that guy because he's 32, peddling around asking people with how much they charge for sex.
He's
That would be an
36.
odd.
He's
scenario.
36, but yeah.
36. Sorry. Sorry, it's
Yeah,
Freudian. I thought I was thinking
few
about
more
me
years.
then for a second. But yeah. Why do you think I've been out on the bike so much recently, boys? Hello.
It's self-powered.
Right.
You're
I
not
got
retired.
to- I was
got
gonna remember this.
hamburgers.
Got a lot of hamburgers on him.
Like
Weird. He's getting
Yeah.
Deliveroo coming around.
How many? I've got a sack here.
hamburgers.
Couple burgers.
Yeah.
Sweet.
God.
But only waist down.
Yeah, that's probably all the funny news I've got.
Okay.
Well, I think that's plenty because we're
Oh,
at
fuck.
1 hour
Hit my mic.
23. It's been a bumper
Wow.
episode.
Oh God.
It's
okay.
a bumper.
Wow, big one.
Bumper episode.
Did not look at the time.
Well,
It's
thank
like
you.
Beano bumper edition, hardback, all the Beanos, 6 Beanos in one.
6 Beanos and 1
Sorry, go on.
annual edition.
Did you know there were 2
Hardback
Dennis the
cover.
Menaces?
Yeah, I saw
I
this
read
yesterday.
this yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you read that article as well?
Yeah.
I didn't realize, and I made it at the exact same time, but 2 different characters called Dennis the Menace. One American.
So
No
yeah,
way.
in the UK and in the US, 2 separate artists came up with a similar character called Dennis the Menace. And
That's
modern
crazy.
Beanos, Dennis is actually the son of the Dennis depicted in the earlier Beanos. There's like a time gap. It's mental. So really
Oh.
get into that Dennis
I've
the
not
Menace
kept up with
lore.
it. Yeah.
No,
God, yeah,
right,
you've really
okay.
kept up with that. Fair play.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Crazy.
He's getting the dandy every week.
Do you know what else is crazy?
I love the dandy.
What is
Our
crazy? Trott?
Patreon
Tell us.
supporters, the people that are willing to just
They are crazy.
down.
Trot, paying for this.
paying for this bullshit. Well, thank you for keeping this alive. We really do appreciate it. This podcast doesn't have any sponsorship right now. I mean, we're working on it, but right now it's you guys keeping us aloft. So if you're interested, you'll be credited at the end of the YouTube video. We do have YouTube as well if you want to see our faces and the articles we look at. It's a Hat Chat podcast on YouTube. And it's also on Rooster Teeth now, which is exciting. So if you're on Rooster Teeth and you want to see more of our content, have a look at our YouTube stuff once you run out of stuff on Rooster Teeth.
There's a bit up there.
Yeah, there's a little bit up there.
Give it some views. Make them go, wow, these Hat Films guys are really popular on our platform.
Wow.
We should
Leave
pay
a
them
comment
for more
that's
content.
like, wow, God, these guys are great. They need a bigger American audience. Yeah,
Yeah.
That would
you're
be
right.
nice, eh?
Completely
Wow.
agree. And maybe if
I'd be
you're
like-
musically minded,
Wow.
musically
You're
minded,
gone.
send a fingle and you could be featured at the start of our Hat Chat podcast. That email just down there is hatchat@hat-films.com. There you go.
Right.
Fan jingle.
Do that, and we might feature it if it's really good. If it's shit, though,
Yeah.
probably not.
We're not doing it.
Stays in the
Not
inbox.
doing it.
Stays in the inbox. I think that
I've got a very
if
sensitive
it's shit,
ear.
it's good for them that we don't play it as well, right?
Yeah. A fingle is a jingle that's made at the start. That's what it is. So it's a fan jingle.
It's a fan jingle.
Yeah.
Or we
You don't
were
have to be a
thinking of
fan.
fangle as well.
Fangle.
But fingle
Jangle.
has stayed around.
Yeah.
Well, jingle makes
What's
more
a
sense
jangle?
than jangle.
The,
So, yeah.
the fingle. Fan jingle.
Fingle fangle.
Yeah.
Fan jingle.
What the
Fingle.
fuck? What is it? What is the one
Go
we
fingle
use?
yourself.
We use fingle, don't we?
Fingle. Yeah.
We use
Fingle
fingle.
my asshole.
We use fingle. Yeah.
Fingle. It just works
Fingle
with more
my-
sentences.
Fingle my podcast.
Fingle my podcast. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we'll be back in 2 weeks with more Hat Chat. Until then, please enjoy
Indeed.
your weekend, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time, or daily
Stay
on
safe.
our live streams.
Stay alert.
Thank you. Stay alert. Look out for that coronavirus. It'll get you.
Look out
Bye,
for
everybody.
it. It's around. Bye.
You were always on my mind.
Oh, hello. It's our voices.
Hello.
Hello,
Oh, wow, you
everybody.
can hear us. We're gonna
Yeah.
thank all the glorious people for subbing and donating during that wonderful podcast. that you
Indeed.
just listened to. I'm going to start from the top here.
Please
Big
do.
up to CCX9010 for the 2 months. They've said bacon. Thank you very much for that.
Cheers.
Skut Rugud is a 9-monter. That's how it's written. That's exactly how it's pronounced. It says, it's my birthday. Glad I can watch a Hat Chat live. Diolch Boix. Well, thank you very much. Skut Triggered for that. And happy birthday.
Cheers. Happy
Sean
birthday.
Herb, 3657, through 200 biddies our way. What you can do with your bits, Smith?
I'm going to throw them up my
He's
asshole.
still here. He's going to throw
Wow.
those bits. clean up his arsehole. They won't even touch the sides. I've seen that bad boy. It is
nuts.
giant.
It won't.
The
It's like one of those
Splatterer
spinning
subscribed by Prime.
coil machines you get in supermarkets. You know, the ones that have the
Wow.
spiral that
Just
spin
keeps
and
going-
spin and
yeah,
spin
it
and
is,
then drop
yeah.
to the mill. Like that.
So there's bits. Oh wow, that's quite the spectacle. Hefty Yeti
Jealous.
is a 14-monther saying 14 months, and I can only see what can be described as a prepubescent Smith. It is disturbing. How
Oh,
are you
yeah.
coping with all these comments about your beard being shaved off, Smith?
Oh, I'm getting on, aren't I? I don't really mind. You know, I appreciate
To be honest, it
it's
grows
not my
back.
ideal look. Like, exactly. To be this
It's
bear is not
changeable.
my ideal look. But I couldn't find the clipper
No.
on my shaver, so I just shaved it all off.
There's a lot of people who like it as well, so that's all good. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, and also it's you know, it's not exactly something that you can't change quite easily and or within a week or two.
Yeah.
Okay. Smithy Boyk is a 9-monther saying, I'm a hat baby. Hello, world. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. 9 months. Of course, it's the average length of having a pregnancy. So that's why they said that. Thank you very much for that.
Correct.
That's the first time I've heard that. Rowleybot 12,000 used 100 bits. Again, Trott, what will you do with those bitties there?
Huh? What bitties?
What are you going to do with those 100 bits that Rowleybot 12,000 just gifted us?
Well, I'm going to print them out on a new
Yeah.
Epson printer that I've just ordered. Make them into like nice little 3D origami sculptures, and then just shove them all up my arse.
Yeah. God, that's fucking really creative and new. Thank you. Smiley
Thank
Guy
you.
is an 18-monther saying, really enjoying all the content lately. Thanks, boys. Well, thank you very much. Yes, they released 2 videos of note. One is Smith's birthday video, which is on our main Hat Films channel. And they've gone in 60 Minutes challenge, scavenger hunt thing on our Hat Gaming channel. We have Hat Gaming channel, if you're not aware of it. I saw several comments on their main Hat Films one going, I missed the daily uploads. They're all over there. All over there.
Literally
It's
the
just
same
simple.
videos, different
Click on
channel.
another button.
It's not hard.
Yeah, it's hard to convince a group of people to do something. Maybe we need to become more outspoken.
The same
Skittle
content.
Bombs is a 10-monther. Yeah, Skittle Bombs is a 10-monther. Thank you very much for that. By Prime, wise, very wise.
Very
Rowleybot 12,000 threw another 100 bits down the well, saying he was in Black Hawk Down 2. I don't know who they're referencing at that point. Are they talking about Orlando Bloom earlier on? Who else were we talking about?
Might have been.
Robert.
I can find out.
It's one of those. Whoever was in
I thought
Black
that was
Hawk Down
Ethan
2. Might have been Ethan Hawke, yeah. Remember they were playing that when we were going to the shooting range? And they played the worst, most violent scene in there. That was funny.
Yeah.